What you're about to hear isn't just a story, it's a powerful wake-up call, a warning that King Solomon gave us centuries ago, and sadly, many still ignore it. This story is raw, real, and unforgettable. It will challenge everything you thought you knew about trust, love, and deception. So sit tight, open your heart, and prepare for a journey you won't forget. And if you're drawn to deep, inspiring, and life-changing content like this, make sure to subscribe and join us on this powerful path of truth. Kingdom Inspirations presents to you Solomon's darkest warning about women. Most men still don't know this. In this video, we will explore a haunting real-life story woven with the ancient wisdom of King Solomon, a warning many of us overlooked until it was too late. You'll uncover 7 captivating truths that could protect your heart, your mind, and your future. 1. The powerful warning Solomon gave us about seductive manipulation. 2. How beauty can disguise a deadly trap. 3. The subtle signs of emotional control. 4. The hidden life she never wanted us to see. 5. The painful consequences of ignoring red flags. 6. The path to healing and redemption after betrayal. 7. And the final message that will shake you to your core. Stay with us, this could change everything. What happens when the woman you love turns out to be the very warning you ignored? This is a story of trust shattered, love manipulated, and a heart torn between passion and wisdom. The challenge? Recognizing danger beneath beauty. The conflict? Choosing truth over emotional blindness. And the question that haunts us all: can you truly trust someone who knows how to play your soul? Solomon warned us. But will we listen, or learn the hard way? He spoke in Proverbs, a king whose words warned of honey-laced poison. She came like a whisper, soft and divine, yet hollow in truth. Love bloomed, but shadows grew, hiding secrets in her smile. Chains were woven with charm, not iron. The heart bled before the eyes could see. From ashes rose wisdom, scarred but breathing. And in the end, her echo remained. Not of love, but of a lesson paid for with pain Solomon tried to save us from. She was everything we dreamed of, beautiful, gentle, spiritual. The kind of woman who feels like an answered prayer. But behind her smile was a storm, behind her touch, a trap. We gave her our trust, and she used it to break us. This isn't just a story, it's a soul cry. A love that turned into manipulation. A warning we ignored. A heart that nearly didn't survive. Solomon tried to tell us. We didn't listen. Now we're telling you, before it's too late. Watch closely. This could be your story next. Now, let's take a deep breath and dive into the heart of this unforgettable story. Each moment unfolds like a warning wrapped in experience, like Solomon's voice echoing through time. What you're about to hear will open your eyes, stir your emotions, and challenge everything you thought you knew about love, trust, and betrayal. This isn't just a story, it's a journey. And every chapter reveals a truth too powerful to ignore. Let's begin. He was the wisest man who ever lived. King Solomon, son of David, a ruler anointed by God with divine understanding. Nations sought his counsel. Queens traveled from distant lands just to hear his voice. Yet amidst his vast knowledge of riches, leadership, and life, Solomon left behind a haunting thread woven through his Proverbs, a warning. Not just to kings or rulers, but to men, to hearts, to us. In Proverbs 5, 6, and 7, Solomon paints a picture that many dismissed as poetic exaggeration. He spoke of a woman whose lips drip honey, whose words are smoother than oil, but whose path leads to death. He warned of the seductress who lures with beauty but destroys destinies. He didn't just describe a person, he described a trap. One set not with swords, but with smiles. Not with violence, but with charm. Many read those words as ancient fables, until they live them. We didn't think it could be her. She was graceful, spiritual, nurturing. Everything Solomon described, but in reverse. Or so we thought. Until charm became control. Until sweetness masked silence. Until the truth surfaced like a shadow beneath the surface of still waters. This isn't just scripture. This is survival. This isn't just the echo of an old king's wisdom. This is our story. Solomon tried to warn us, but we didn't listen. We thought we were different. That love could never turn dark in our hands. But this story is the proof, etched in heartbreak, betrayal, and the shattering silence of realizing the king was right all along. And now, we share this story not as kings, but as men who finally understood. Let's begin. She appeared like a dream, beautiful, poised, intelligent. The kind of woman you don't find twice in a lifetime. Her voice was soft like worship, her smile a balm to every hidden wound. She spoke in scriptures, laced her words with faith, and wrapped her intentions in prayer. We thought she was sent by God, an angel wrapped in elegance. But beauty, as Solomon warned us, can be a weapon. And charm, when wielded by the wrong hands, cuts deeper than any blade. She didn't rush. She didn't chase. She drew. With every conversation, she unraveled our walls. She shared her pain with precision, her past with poetry, her heart with heartbreaking vulnerability. And we became her saviors. We fell not just for her face, but for her story. And in doing so, we missed the signs. The subtle glances of manipulation, the strategic silences, the gentle yet persuasive nudges that slowly redirected our path. First from our priorities, then from our peace. She knew how to appear broken enough to be loved, but whole enough to be trusted. And still, we silenced the whispers of doubt. She's just passionate. She's healing. She's misunderstood. All while Solomon's voice echoed in the distant corners of our minds. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. But his words were faint, too faint to compete with the rhythm of our heartbeat pounding for her. Desire blurred reason, and trust, blind and eager, walked straight into a carefully constructed illusion. She wasn't just a woman. She was a mirror of what we wanted, and the beginning of what we would lose. And so the story deepens, not in violence, but in seduction. Not in force, but in deception. And we were already too far in. At first, it felt like love, intense, consuming, passionate. But then, the shift. Little by little, the warmth that once lit up every room turned cold. Conversations became landmines. One wrong word, one delayed response, and silence would follow, not the kind that invites peace, but the kind that punishes. She began to withdraw, only to pull him in deeper with guilt. If you loved me, you'd understand. Everyone always abandons me. I thought you were different. Her tears became chains. Her pain, a weapon. It wasn't anger that controlled him, it was pity. Her vulnerability now served as her shield and sword. She crafted a world where he felt responsible for her happiness, and blamed for her suffering. Slowly, subtly, she pulled him away from everything and everyone. Friends became distractions. Family became enemies of their connection. It wasn't isolation by force, it was manipulation masked as intimacy. She needed him, but not in the way love requires. She needed control, and he gave it willingly, believing it was love. He stopped living for himself and started breathing only when she allowed it. The trap wasn't built overnight. It was sown with softness, laid with words like, "I just want us to be close, and you're all I have." And by the time he saw the bars of his emotional prison, it was too late. Solomon's warning came back like thunder in his ears. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. This was no longer love. This was spiritual warfare wrapped in romance. And the man who once felt chosen, now felt caged. She didn't destroy him all at once. She did it with devotion, with dependency, with a love that was never real. It all came crashing down in a moment. One late message. One unfamiliar name. One accidental glimpse into a world he was never meant to see. What he thought was sacred love was carefully staged fiction. She had another life. Another man. And worse, he wasn't the first, just the latest in a long, deliberate game. The woman he loved wasn't who she claimed to be. She had perfected the art of pretending, spiritual on Sundays, seductive on Mondays, strategic every other day. Her heart wasn't broken, it was cold. Her wounds weren't real, they were rehearsed. He wasn't her only one. He was her target. The truth unraveled like poison through his soul. There were signs, whispers, gut feelings. But love had blinded him. And now, love had betrayed him. It wasn't just about another man. It was about power. Money subtly borrowed. Secrets quietly collected. His weaknesses, his past, his vulnerability, all used to feed her control. He realized she never needed saving. She needed dominance. Emotional domination. manipulative control. And when he confronted her, everything changed. The tears vanished. The smile twisted. Her voice became ice. She threatened to ruin him, expose his secrets, turn his truth into lies. Suddenly, she was no longer a lover. She was a weapon pointed at his soul. Fear replaced affection. Silence became safer than honesty. And still, he couldn't believe the woman he once prayed for was the same woman now orchestrating his downfall. Solomon was right again. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield, till a dart struck through his liver. He was in love with an illusion. And now, that illusion had fangs. He thought he found his future. But she was hiding his end. Everything came crashing down, loud, brutal, and final. One day, he was a man in love. The next, he was a man abandoned, broken, and drowning in the ruins she left behind. His accounts? Drained. His name? Stained. His heart? Shattered into pieces too jagged to hold. She disappeared with a calm that mocked his chaos. No explanation. No remorse. Just silence and devastation. He watched his life unravel while the world watched him fall. Friends who once spoke warnings now shook their heads. "We told you," they whispered, not with malice, but with the ache of truth unheeded. Their voices became echoes in the chambers of his regret. And then it hit him. Every word of Solomon wasn't just metaphor, it was prophecy. "Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger." He remembered reading it. He remembered feeling the chill of those words. But he didn't listen. He couldn't. Not when her voice sounded sweeter. Not when her eyes promised forever. But now, standing in the wreckage, her eyes were gone. Her voice? A ghost. He stared at the mirror, hollow-eyed. "I gave her everything," he whispered, "and she left me empty." His heart wasn't the only thing stolen. His peace. His purpose. His joy, all gone. He wasn't just broken. He was ashamed. Ashamed he ignored the signs. Ashamed he traded wisdom for warmth. Ashamed he mistook manipulation for love. And now he carried a crown not of gold, but of grief. The wisest man in Scripture had warned him, but wisdom, when received too late, can't heal what's already burned. This was his fall. And from the dust, he would have to choose, stay shattered, or seek redemption. He should have been destroyed. Every part of him, ripped apart, burned, left in ruins. But somehow, somewhere in the silence of his lowest night, a whisper rose, "Get up." It wasn't loud. It wasn't proud. But it was enough. The courage to walk away didn't come in strength, but in surrender. He didn't leave her victorious. He left her bleeding hope. Even broken, he chose freedom over illusion. His hands shook. His heart still ached. But step by step he walked away, not from love but from lies. There was no money left. His spirit was bankrupt. His soul was tired. But in the absence of everything, he found God. It was time to rebuild. Brick by brick, he reclaimed what he lost. He reconnected with friends who once wept for him. He poured out his story, not for pity, but for purpose. He began to see the wisdom in his wounds. And for the first time, he didn't curse the pain. He honored it. He realized this wasn't just a fall, it was a rebirth. His tears became teaching. His regret became revelation. He opened the Proverbs again, not with ignorance, but with reverence. "Bind them upon thy heart. Write them upon the table of thine heart." This time, he didn't just read them. He listened. He forgave her. Not because she deserved it, but because he did. And then, he forgave himself. He wasn't just escaping a toxic love. He was escaping who he used to be. This was no longer just his story. It was a warning. A testimony. A new beginning. From ashes he rose, not bitter, not broken, but wiser, stronger, and finally free. In the end, all he could do was sit in the quiet and reflect. He picked up the worn-out Bible he once ignored and read Solomon's words again, not as ancient wisdom, but as lived reality. Every proverb that once sounded poetic, now cut with surgical precision. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. It wasn't just metaphor. It was his life. Solomon wasn't just warning us about a woman. He was warning us about ourselves. About how easily we trade discernment for desire. About how quickly love turns blind when it's coated in beauty and bathed in vulnerability. And just when he thought it was over, he found it, a message she left behind. A small note. Just 2 lines. I never meant to hurt you, but I did what I had to do. Was it regret? Was it guilt? Or was it her final move, a whisper of confusion to haunt him one last time? He folded the note and placed it beside Solomon's words. One a trap, the other, truth. And now to you, who watch, who wonder, who may be walking a similar path, he pleads. Don't ignore the signs. Don't trade your soul for sweetness laced with poison. Don't be the one who says, if only I had listened. This story isn't just his. It's Solomon's. It's ours. It's yours, if you're not careful. So learn. Share. Stay vigilant. Because sometimes, the most dangerous thing in love isn't what's seen. It's what's hidden beneath the smile. And if Solomon could speak now, he'd say it again, clearer than ever. Never trust a woman who does this. Thank you for staying with us through this journey, a story of love, deception, pain, and redemption. If this tale stirred something in you, you're not alone. We invite you to share your thoughts, your warnings, or your experiences in the comment section below. Let's grow wiser together. I believe this video has touched your heart or opened your eyes, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel for more powerful, soul-stirring revelations. There's more ahead, truths that heal, stories that awaken, and wisdom that saves. Until next time, stay discerning, stay vigilant, and never forget, Solomon warned us.